Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from LoyMachedo.com. And who's Loy Machedo? Date today is 8th May 2016. Time right now is 1:57 in the afternoon. Okay, I just want to give you a quick review of the movie that is The Jungle Book, directed by, what's his name? Jon Favreau. Favreau? Okay, whatever. Favreau. Yeah, whatever. Okay, fine. At first I didn't want to actually see the movie because I'm pretty skeptical. Whenever you're trying to remake a classic, there's always a danger that it may not succeed. Now, let's go back in time and see the remakes which were better than the original. Like, for example, The Fly, 1986. I still watch it. It still gives me jitters. I think it's amazing. Heat, 1995. Absolutely brilliant. And yes, how can you forget Ocean's 11, 2001. So those three movies are really stood out. I know there are a lot more other movies. I've not seen all of them. But then there are movies which, after they have remade them, they turn out to be horrible. So horrible that you wish it was never made. In fact, it kind of insults the legacy of all of the originals. Like, for example, Psycho, 1998, flop. The Haunting, 1999, few good effects, but overall a flop. Get Carter, ridiculous, 2000. Planet of the Apes, the 2001 version was bad. Rollerball 2002 was bad. 2003 Taxi, nah. Atrocious. Wicker Man 2006, I could not bear to watch it. And Conan the Barbarian, they should have made Conan the Librarian in 2011, which was even pathetic. You could not replace Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, so when Walt Disney teamed up with director Jon Favreau for Elf, Iron Man 2, and Cowboys versus Aliens, I was not too sure. See, because what happened, Jon Favreau is a okay director, not bad. Like Iron Man 2 was not that great. There was only that action scene in Monaco where the cars went and that guy, what's his name? That guy with the whips, I forgot his name. He whips and breaks Tony's car in half. That was the amazing scene. The rest, everything was crap. There was nothing in between. Cowboys and Aliens, terrible. I love the science fiction part, but overall it was bad. So given Favreau's inability to stay consistent with ensuring great movies, I was, kind of worried for the legacy of Jungle Book, because if you fucked it up, so to speak, if you messed it up, finished, that's the end of it. So I'm sure the online community was also asking, what is the point in making the greatest 1976 Walt Disney masterpiece? Agreed that you could add animation, CGI, songs, humor, drama, but could it capture the imagination of today's generation? Surprisingly, okay, it turned out to be a resounding yes. Now, what made the movie so irresistible? Okay, the story and plotline, I think, was pretty witty. It had ingenious twists, unlike the direction that the original movie took, where it was lovey-dovey and moved into quite a complete fable, like one story. This one focuses only on one aspect, that is Mowgli trying to discover who he is and trying to fight his fears. The remake follows that Mowgli, which was Neil Sethi, a young boy, or man cub as he's called, rescued by Bagheera, who is played by The Voice, played by Ben Kingsley, is given to a pack of wolves led by Aquila, that is Giancarlo Esposito, nice name, okay, and Raksha, that is Lupita Nyong, he's raised as a wolf by himself. While Mowgli doesn't actually fit into the group, he's trying his level best, trying to be the wolf that he could be. Everything was happy-go-lucky until one day, when they are having water, because of the drought, the scarred Shere Khan, that is played by Idris Elba, okay, arrives on the scene, and having a permanently damaged eye and disfigured face, he wants revenge against the man cub, because he tried to kill the father, and the father disfigured his face, and he left the boy. So now, because he can't do anything because of the peace agreement that happens during drought, he leaves the boy, but tells them that he would be back and he would kill the boy. Okay? Now, that is where Bagheera, that is Ben Kingsley, the Black Panther, agrees to shepherd this boy to the village and let him be with his own kind. In between, you have Scarlett Johansson, yes, plays the enticing, entrancing snake Kaa, Powerful, really, really well done, And then you bump into the honey-loving, fun-loving, my kind of guy, Baloo the bear, played by Bill Murray, and the deal-making, what is it, Gigantopithecus, that is played King Louis, Christopher Walken, which is absolutely mesmerizing. I think he has a voice that you'd just get, nobody else can play that part. So I think movie, plotline, everything was played very well, absolutely brilliant. And finally, the battle between Mowgli and Shere Khan in the end is the climax. The CGI effects is a second point which I think really stood out. The entire movie is shot beautifully. The scenes are fantastic. I mean, you really feel the power of the big screen. And the animators, I think, deserve a big applause because they did a fantastic job. I mean, there are subtle changes, like for example, the movements, the tail twitching, or the movement of the eye, or the ears, just to reveal an emotion. I think it was really well done. You could actually feel the sense of realism. You didn't feel it was a CGI. The voice rendered, Bill Murray, who's a happy-go-lucky Balu, Ben Kingsley, who's a caring big brother Bagheera, Idris Elba, the revenge-soaked, raging cold-blooded Shere Khan, Lupita Nyong'o, I hope I got her name right, as a caring maternal Raksha. Scarlett Johansson, the sly, sinister, trance-inducing Kaa, powerful voice. Christopher Walken as a giant orangutan. I loved his voice. He has the voice to die for. Gary Shandling as a jittery, skittish porcupine, Iki. And Giancarlo Esposito as an alpha wolf in the pack. It's like, I even like the musical that followed, very, not very dominating, at the same time very subtle. It was the bare necessities, and I want to be like you. Came out pretty good. Walken, singing and moving like King Louis was a bizarre delight. I kind of had that fetish. But however, the one thing which I definitely want to mention is the biggest surprise of all was a 12-year-old boy, Neil Sethi. He played Mowgli in between all the CGI characters. Just imagine when he was actually doing the work, there was nobody, there was nothing, he couldn't see anything. He's just surrounded by green screens, and he has done such an amazing job. I think he really deserves an Oscar for this performance. He was talking to nothing, and he made it look so real. So even where his eyes were, even where he was talking, it's really flawlessly brought into it. I have to give the director, Jon Favreau, hats off. So, moment of truth, I was absolutely mesmerized by this movie. I think it's a must-watch family film. And, if I were to say it in one word, if you want to be drawn into the deepest, most desired, fond memory of your childhood, I think this is a must-watch movie that you have to keep it on your bucket list and watch it with your children or with loved ones. It's a delight. Overall, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. I thought it was perfect. I definitely loved it. So, Loy from LoyMachedo.com, and it was Loy Machedo recommending the movie The Jungle Book. Please watch it. You'll love it. And I think it would be a delight. Any other questions? Let me know. Love to hear from you. Goodbye for now.